Hey, this is Jake with the Tractor Yard. Today we're in the tractor shop and we've got a Branson 5220 with a leaky PTO seal. This is a quick and easy job you can do yourself, so follow along and let's get to it.
Fortunately, this project doesn't require a whole lot of tools, but you will need a 3/8 driver of some sort with a 12, a 14, and a 17 millimeter socket, preferably an extension, a hammer, a flat face chisel, a flathead screwdriver, an abrasive brush, some snap ring pliers. You'll need some silicone. We like to use the Permatex 1 Minute Cure Black. And of course, you'll need the correct replacement PTO seal. One other thing I'd like to note before we get going is that this procedure is going to hold true for quite a few Branson models. So we're working on a 20 series today, but this is going to be good for 15 series, 20 series, 5835s, and a lot more models as well. At the end of this video, we'll actually show you a list of Branson models that this exact seal part number will fit, and the procedure will be the same except for the absence or presence of a seal cover. The first thing we like to do when dealing with any leak is just clean up around the area and get all the debris and the buildup out of the way. Next, we just need to drain the hydraulic fluid lower than the level of the bottom of the PTO seal. It's a good idea to take this vent off the top of the transmission case to help the hydraulic fluid drain faster. There's a little bit of guesswork here, but once you pull the seal, you can drain the rest of the fluid if need be. Of course, you could go ahead and drain all the fluid and change the hydraulic filters even, but this guy had just recently had a hydraulic service, so we wanted to save him a little bit of money. We've let this drain for a couple of minutes. We're going to go ahead and put the plug back in and get to pulling the PTO seal. Next, we're going to just take these 4 bolts out to remove the PTO guard, just to get it out of our way. Now we just remove the 5 bolts holding on the PTO seal cover. With the cover removed, you can see the only thing holding in the PTO seal is this snap ring. We like to use a flat blade screwdriver and a hammer to create space between the surface and the seal. We'll work around the edges of the seal to pry it away from the surface until we can pull it off the shaft. Just be careful not to be too aggressive here and mar the painting surface. The replacement seal is actually a 2-part seal, as you see here. You'll actually notice that TYM and Branson use some silicone on the outside of this seal when they install it, so we'll go back with silicone as well. But before we install the new seal, we're going to clean up this surface with an abrasive brush and wipe it up and get as much of the debris off of it as possible so that we have a clean mating surface. After adding a bead of silicone, we just need to press the new 2-part seal back into the housing. We like to press it on as far as we can by hand, and then use a hammer and a flat chisel to get it the rest of the way. With the seal seated all the way past the snap ring groove, we can now reinstall the snap ring. One thing we like to do that's not necessarily mandatory is run a little bit of silicone in each one of these bolt holes. This just helps prevent a leak in the off chance that removing those bolts pulled enough silicone out of that mating surface to create a leak. Now all that's left is to refill the hydraulic fluid to the proper level. It helps on these tractors to remove this vent plug on the rear right side of this transmission housing. This just helps keep pressure from building up in the transmission case and spitting hydraulic fluid at you as you fill it up. These tractors have a sight glass right next to the PTO shaft that you can watch as it fills, and you want to stop it right there at the center of the red dot. It might seem a little silly to mention, but do not forget to put this vent cap back in place. We had a horror story where a guy left his off, and what happened is he ran it like that for a couple months and wound up getting a lot of debris into the transmission case. And what that'll do is get in those hydraulic clutch packs and absolutely ruin them. And then you're talking about a much more expensive repair than just a PTO seal or a hydraulic change. After cleaning up any residual oil from changing out the seal, you're just going to want to run the PTO for a little while and just monitor and make sure that there's not going to be any more leaks. After that, you can get right back to it. We hope this video walkthrough was helpful to you, and we really appreciate you watching. Stick around for a list of all the models that this part number and procedure will apply to, and as always, if you need parts or have any questions at all, just give us a call at 918-486-4464. See you next time.